going to therapy, court, when I have court, visiting the children, seeking support groups, help, just trying to keep myself getting more support. Hey, who is an angel? Wait. Who is an angel? The cops surrounded me. They came in and they were all checking around and looking around, and one of my children was laying on the floor, and she said, "What's wrong with him?" And I said, "He must be dead," because I was being sarcastic. But I said, "What you think is wrong with him? He's sleeping. He fell asleep." Then the ACS worker came and said, "We're taking the children because you didn't want to comply." I was also thrown in the mental institution that day, and I lasted 2 days there, and they made a meeting, the doctors with me, and I explained to them, I said that under pressure, and I'm not gonna harm myself. My family was taken from me. I don't know where my children are. My mother's sick. I need to get out of here. So they let me go.
Help! Help! Let me out of here! Help! Help!
Let me out, he said.
Most of the children who are placed in foster care are placed for reasons of neglect. The parents are often overwhelmed, living in poverty, inadequate housing, and they don't have the resources to take care of their children adequately. For example, a mother who has a sick child at home can't afford a babysitter. She has to go shopping. The child is sick. She can't take the child with her. She leaves the child at home. Something happens, or a neighbor sees a child at home alone. They report it to ACS, and the child can be removed.
Friends of mine actually got me these beds, and my church helped me with the dressers. And I haven't been able to really fix my room because I've been so busy. You know, the children came back and they just practically junked my room up.
4, 3, 2, 1. It's time for number fun.
There's no documentation that people living in poverty have a greater proclivity to mistreat children than people at other income level. East Harlem is one of the least affluent communities in America, and the Upper East Side is arguably the most affluent congressional district in the nation. Now, you can't tell me that south of 96th Street there's no drug abuse, there's no alcoholism, there's no domestic violence, there's no mental illness, but you don't see children from the Upper East Side in foster care. And why is that?
Why is that?
It's because it's a public service system that devolves to those people who are most powerless to resist it. If I have resources, well, for one thing, when you knock on my door at 3 in the morning, I'm calling my lawyer, and I probably have a pretty good one. You might not even get past my doorman.
They're very close, all of them. And it's very sad because my oldest feels it the most because he knows more about what's going on. And now my daughter, since now they're getting bigger, it's when they're starting to understand. So now I see my daughter, and today she was very sad. She was crying hysterically when I left. I'm not a bad mother, and I see my children suffering more without me.
The table? Okay.
Mom.
What do we have in there?
Tools.
Tools, yeah.
Well, I thought it would come out better.
I've heard so many stories of mothers jumping through the hoops that they're supposed to jump through, of taking parenting classes, anger management classes, therapy, and they do that, and then there's another round of requirements.
I'll call you if I find the parent, okay? Okay, you're welcome, bye-bye.
It's an underfunded system because the people who are in it are poor people. And it's also a racist system. 97% of the children in foster care in New York City are black or Latino.
And I just want to say I'm thankful for having all my kids for Thanksgiving.
They're coming home tomorrow?
No, the other father's letting me have the 3 kids, but not on Thanksgiving Day, but on Friday. So I'm gonna have 2 Thanksgiving days.
ACS removed my 3 boys, and we went court yesterday. And if my husband completes at least 2 anger management classes, my boys will be returned on December 15th.
I want to give everybody the credit too. Without y'all, you know, it's a learning process. I learned from you, so I want to thank you all.
Now I'm a full-time employee at the agency that has my children, and I still come to the support group because I am affected, and I will always be affected by the child welfare system.
It's a really hard job to work for ACS, to be tasked with making sure children are safe, which means sometimes removing them, and also being tasked with helping that family. How do you remove a child from a family and then say, okay, how can I help you?
I don't give up because I love my children. I love my children, and God gave them to me, and I feel that He's the only one that can actually take them from me. And as long as I'm living, I am not going to give up.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Jackson.
Oh, Miss Jackson, I gotta come. Oh, I gotta give you a hug. Thank you so much.
One more. Oh, ooh, I like that one.
They just said they want the family together. They don't want. They said I want the family together. So they.
Just go.